There was a boy in Arkansas who wouldn't listen to his mom when she told him he should go to school. He'd slip away in the afternoon, take a little walk. Pretty soon we'd find him at the local auction bar. He'd stand and listen carefully, and pretty soon he began to see how the auctioneer could talk so rapidly. He said, oh my, it's do or die, I've got to learn that auction cry, gotta make my mark, be an auctioneer. $25 bidding and a hoodly bit of hoodie, got a $25 hoodie, give me $5, wanna make it 30 hoodly bit of hoodie, and a hoodly bit of $30 bill. I got a $30 bidding and a hoodly bit of hoodie, if I got 30 hoodie, give me $5, wanna make it for a hoodie, up by the $35 bill. Well, as time went on, he did his best, and all could see he didn't.
Good morning and welcome to the weekly roundup, and I'm Sheriff P, your host. This is the Grace Christian School information page that we come to you every week on YouTube, and we share with you about all the amazing things that are happening here at Grace, all the things that have happened at Grace, and all the things that will be happening in the future. I'd like to welcome you and thank you for tuning in. Right now we're up to about 15 viewers. Everybody's getting set. If you look there in the beginning, we saw John and Carson on their horses. Carson was in front of two horses at the police open house that we went to on Saturday, and that was a great thing. And John is on his little pony that he had the opportunity to ride on. So thanks for sending those pictures in. Can you believe there's only 6 days left of school? This school year has basically just flown by. It seems like we were getting ready to do the first weekly roundup just yesterday, and we have gone through a ton. Good morning, Kimberly. Second to last week of school till summer vacay. You are absolutely right. Next Thursday is a half day, and we will be done, and we'll be calling it a wrap. So a lot has happened this year. If you look back, all the amazing things, the Christmas program, the talent show, the Race for Grace, a lot of successful and fun things that happened this last year. But we have things still left to do these next 6 days, and I just wanted to review some of those with you so that we're all on the same page. Next is graduation. Our 8th graders are going to be saying goodbye to us in 4 days. Next Tuesday on the 23rd at Holy Cross Lutheran Church over on Cerritos, maybe 3 blocks from here. They will be graduating and crossing the stage at 6 o'clock in the evening, and we will be saying aloha. And we don't say goodbye because we always want our students to come back. And those of you who have been around Grace for a long time know that we are a family, and we have to move on to do other parts of our life. But many of our family members come back, and they work in daycare. They become classroom teachers for us, junior high directors, you name it. Once you're a Grace Christian School student, you are always part of the family, and we take care of family throughout. And it's going to be hard to say aloha to these 8th graders. They have done a wonderful job being here and moving on. Oh, Tuesday is the 24th. I apologize. I don't know what calendar I was looking at. Let's see here. Give me just a second to look down here and see what I was looking at. Yes, you are absolutely right. It is the 24th, and I sit corrected. Thank you so much for letting me know. So yes, it is the 24th, those of you that are tuning in. And Mrs. O'Rue, yes, Tuesday graduation is on the 24th. So disregard the 23rd. That was spoken in error. But yes, it is Tuesday, May 24th. And it is still at Holy Cross Lutheran Church over on Cerritos, a few blocks from the school. But anyway, thank you very much. And there, Christy put that up there for you. Yes, graduation is on Tuesday, May 24th. We will say goodbye. Next thing I want to share with you is information about RenWeb. This is a public service announcement for all of you, and it comes from Mrs. Campbell in the finance office. She has sent out an email to you, and as I had shared in past weekly roundups, we are simplifying our billing process that you are able to go online, create your account, and select your payment plan. And all of you at this point have received that email, and I'm saying about 50% of you have already set up your accounts. This is for the rest of you. You need to go in. Even if you've already selected a payment plan when you send in the hard copy paperwork, you still need to do that again and process all the information that Mrs. Campbell sent out to you. This is the only way that we will be doing billing and financing as we move forward. It really simplifies and streamlines and allows you to see your account on a quicker basis so that you do not need to contact Mrs. Campbell to look for stuff. You may notice RenWeb is also the same organization that you're able to log in and see your students' grades. So that is one less place or one less thing you have to put into your life. You can just go to the RenWeb website and you're able to look at your child's grades, information from your classroom teacher, and you're also able to check your account. So I just want to remind everyone, please do that. Get on there and get all the information set up. This is a public information from Mrs. Campbell, and it's like a PBS to go out for. Hello, Vivian. How are you? If we have extra credit for lunch that was not used, can we move it on to next year? I believe you can. I think we've done that in the past. The only time that doesn't happen is when you're in your last year. We'll write you out a check and refund you the difference. So I will definitely say yes, it'll carry over. Mrs. Campbell will update those on the account. So that's a great question, Vivian. Thank you so much for asking, and I hope you're having a great morning. So that is how that will work. The next thing, Carlos, good morning. How are you today? Good to see you. You got this. Thank you very much. Let's see here. The next thing, and Vivian, you're more than welcome. The next thing I want to share with you is Knott's Berry Farm. Quarter kickback for our junior high is Knott's Berry Farm, and that is this coming Monday. And all the information sheets and permission slips have gone home to the parents already, and junior high parents have turned those in to the junior high teachers. And if you have a student in junior high, you're fully informed about this. But this is something, if you have a fifth or fourth grader, this is the year-end trip that all of our junior high does, and it's kind of been a tradition. It's been a lot of fun to go and have that opportunity to experience Knott's Berry Farm. It's not a crowded park, so your ride to time ratio is really good. You're able to get on a lot of rides in a short amount of time, and a lot of the good rides also. Next up is you see round one, and that is for our 3rd through 5th graders who completed a program called AR, which is Accelerated Reader. And Accelerated Reader, parents in 3rd through 5th, you're very familiar with it. It's when students read a book, they go on, they take a test, and they set AR goals, how many pages that they are going to read and what comprehension level they're going to achieve by the end of the year. Students who meet their goal have the opportunity at the end of the year to go on a fun trip. And this year, we're switching it up. In prior years, we've always gone to Boomers in Irvine, and we thought it would be fun to try something new, and it's round one, and that we're going to be trying that out and see how that works out. So if you have a student in 3rd through 5th grade, you have received that information, and that's come home to you, and that has been returned back to the school. I share this for our kindergarten through 2nd grade parents that their kids are already talking about getting to do AR and the rewards that they get as they move up. So the next thing I wanted to go over with you, we have about 55 viewers right now, is the legislative updates. I've received quite a few emails from many of you asking for an update on the letter that we sent out to the assembly people and to the state senator. And here is a recap of those bills that we sent out. SB 871 requiring all students to have a vaccine, COVID-19 vaccine, in order to go to school, has been temporarily suspended. Depending on the pundit that you listen to, it sounds as though it's been suspended because it's an election year. It has not been removed, but it is not a requirement at this point. It's not to say that it won't be revisited next year as the state assembly and the state senate come back into session. So right now it's being suspended. Governor Newsom is not enforcing it with an executive order, and the order that is standing out there right now still allows for personal and religious exemptions, which 871 wanted to remove. So This would not give you any rights to decide if your child had the COVID-19 vaccine or not. So, and those of you who have saw in the news, the FDA today, the FDA just approved backup vaccines for students, the booster shots, the younger kids. So that is out there for you. Let's see, I don't remember getting an email regarding RenWeb unless it doesn't matter if you registered last August. So yes, it does matter, Jay, and an email should have went out. Mrs. O'Rue, if you can take that name down and take Jay's name and information and get that to Mrs. Campbell just to follow up, we will get back to you, sir. So that's AB 871 in a nutshell. So it's suspended. It's not something you have to be really concerned about this upcoming school year, but it is something still on the table that they're looking to. SB 866, which would require 12 through, not require, would allow students age 12 through 17 to get a vaccine without any parent consent at all. That means if they walked into a health office or something and they said, hey, you know what, have you got a COVID-19 vaccine? And the kid said no. They said, hey, you know, this is going to save your life or something. The kid could authorize, the child could, to get the vaccine at that point. It has passed the first hearing, and it is still a lively bill that has legs to it. And it appears that a number of senators did not vote either way, so that is kind of concerning that it's still a bill there, and it looks as though it's going to pass unless more parents really reach out to Josh Newman, who unfortunately is one of the authors of this bill, and he's the state senator here in our area in Cypress, and Sharon Quick-Silva is one of the assembly people, so it would also go to them. So we've sent a letter. We did not receive any reply from either of them. I know Senator Richard Roth, who covers like the Corona area, he told us he was against it, but what was disappointing was he did not vote no. He just abstained, which is the same as a no, but it means he could change his vote down the road. So I'm not sure where you stand as parents, but this is something that would definitely remove your ability as a parent to decide what happens with your child on parent consent. So SB 866 is still a lively bill, and it's still in process out there. AB 1993, which would require all employers in the state of California to require the COVID-19 vaccine, did not pass. It has been removed from consideration, and some of you may ask, well, how come that got removed and the others didn't? Quite honestly, the reason is there were a couple of big unions that are big donors to the governor and some of the other assembly people and state senators who were not supportive of this bill because their members were not, and it was tabled and removed. So at this point, that bill is dead. There is no requirement that employers require a vaccine. So what this would mean is like Pep Boys, they wouldn't be required to require a vaccine from employees, or if you were going to Target, it would be up to the individual employers at that point. So that bill is deceased. It has been pulled and no longer out there. The final bill that we had talked about was AB 2098, and what that was, it was to charge doctors with misconduct or felony, whoever provided basically a second opinion that didn't go along with whatever the California Department of Health or the CDC or WHO was endorsing. One of the great things about our medical profession in the United States is that our doctors practice medicine, and if you don't agree with something, you can go for a second opinion. If a doctor chose to give an alternative method of treatment for something, whether this be COVID or anything, it would open them up to have their license suspended, or they could face criminal charges. So that is still a bill that is progressing through the assembly at the current moment. So these are the bills that you asked me to follow up on. I did. I'm not telling you either way how to support or not support these. You asked for information. Our concern is that many of these bills requiring kids vaccines, allowing kids to get a vaccine without a parent consent, really removes your ability as a parent to make choices for your child. And also the reason 2098 would be on there is if a doctor gave you a medical exemption for a vaccine, it would put them under extreme scrutiny from the state of California, and they could potentially have their license suspended, which we have seen because as we require first grade vaccinations and things like that, that the state does vehemently come after some doctors who issue too many exemptions to the vaccines. So that is out there, and I hope this answered all of your questions. We will continue to bring this up as you guys ask, and I will provide more information on the future. On to the next step. Oh, wait, here, let's see. Thank you so much for this thorough update. Continuing to fight and pray for California. Rebecca, yes, you're absolutely right. Thank you for standing up for our rights as parents. I consider it a privilege to do that for you, and I will continue to fight for your rights. And Sherman, scary stuff. You are absolutely right. It is extremely scary with the different things that they're putting in to basically remove your rights as parents to decide how you're going to raise your children. So, parents, I encourage you. You need to reach out to your state senator, to your state assembly person, also to your congresspeople, and let them know your concern about this. The Supreme Court is really showing that these kinds of rules are up to the state. And unless you stand up and have your voice heard now, it could be too late. So thank you very much for those kind comments, Rachel and Sherman. I appreciate it. So on to the next great fun thing is tomorrow for our 5 Roundup Bar winners, the golden ticket winners. They will be going to Disneyland tomorrow with staff, and that's going to be a fun day for them. And we will show you some pictures and everything like that as they go. This is a quick weekly roundup. As I told you, the last day of school is coming very shortly, in less than 6 days here. And what that means is some of you have medication in the office that your children need to take throughout, inhalers or different types of things like that. And this is from Miss Wolfner. Please stop by the office to pick up your student's medication. We've got that happy inhaler reminding all of you. So please do that. Start to pick it up. Don't forget the last week of school, and we'll go from there. Let's see here. It says here, I called Josh Newman's office a few different times, and they always say he'll call me back, but he still hasn't. It's extremely disappointing. They're going to ignore you as long as they can. This is going back to the assembly bill. You just have to, squeaky wheel gets the oil. And if just one of you are calling, but if 400 of you, after you watch this, which we average 300 to 400 viewers, start calling his office every other day, voicing your concerns, along with Sharon Quicksilva, they're quickly going to get the message, especially with the election quickly coming around the corner. So the squeaky wheel gets the oil, like we've always said. But thank you for doing that, and thank you for updating us. Like I said, this is the letter that I sent off to all of them with at least 300 signatures from many of you, and we haven't heard anything back, which is disheartening. And the only thing they do here is vote. So your voice needs to be your vote. So pick up your medication this week and next week, and make sure you get that, because it gets harder when the school office closes. During the summer, it has limited hours on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays in the morning, and you will want to keep this medication. If your child's going over to Camp Oasis, you will need to formally still pick it up from here and transfer it into Camp Oasis. Anyway, wow. 6 days left. We have, let's see here, 52 viewers right now. We're coming to the end of the trail. Let's see here. Interesting bill, since 12, 17-year-olds aren't voters, so wondering why adults are in favor of this. I don't get it. Yeah. I think the reason they're in favor of it, quite honestly, this is kind of way, is because it removes your control as a parent. And it lays the foundation for them to be able to do other things as far as curriculum choices, what's taught in the classroom. You've heard other politicians say that when the kids are in school, they're the responsibility of school, and we'll teach them the way we want. That's not our motto here. We partner with you as parents to make sure we raise tomorrow's leaders. But On to the end of the year, parents. This has been an exciting year. We are at the crest of the trail. We're looking down into the valley. We can see the town, and we're getting ready to do that final trot into town, and we will be wrapping up another successful school year. We are all ready for next year. I've been talking to many of the teachers who are excited. This year's not even over, and they're already starting some great plans for next year. So, parents, I'm going to leave you with this, and until I see you down the trail, which will be next Wednesday, our last weekly roundup, I just pray that God continues to bless each and every one of your families. And as always, we work together to develop tomorrow's godly leaders. Thanks so much, and have a blessed day. Oh, school's out for summer. Nice picture.
Old Mike Hernandez was a bueno vaquero, rode some good horses, California style. I watched him for hours and he showed me a little of the old California he knew for a while. Started young horses in Bosal y Fiador, onto the Touraine, the old Spanish spade.